Hello everyone, back again doing another driving video, and I reckon I can't make my stop here, so I'm going to go ahead and continue on with the trip. Not the drug trip, the regular trip, that's for someone else. But I do not recommend for anybody. We'll do it. We got people coming, going, come on in. If there was water, it would be fine. Okay. Today I was listening to Pokemon Stadium 2. Yes, it was Tim Horn, I think his name was. He was battling against Red, which is like the second to last battle. So it's like one of the boss battles apparently. And it was pretty good. He was playing against the 3 birds or the 3 dogs. It was something or another. And then it was like Dragonite, Espeon, Snorlax. I know this was Snorlax. He had Mewtwo on his team. I reckon he had to beat it. So he's probably actually played the actual thing on the 64, not just the Switch version. Because I don't know how you get Mewtwo on Stadium 2. I was thinking I'd unlock it on Stadium 1 and then maybe there's a big transfer. I do not know. I remember always having fun playing those games when I played Red, Blue, and Yellow, and then you put your little cartridge in, and you could play it on your TV. Like, that was insane technology back in the 90s, 2000s. I couldn't really comprehend. And then it didn't really do anything with it until, really, the Switch. The GameCube never did it, the Wii never did it, really. You could connect with the Wii, but you couldn't really do it. Even the Switch isn't exactly what you could access a special area or something. It's great. I remember Silent and we went out of I went out of state, and I went 2 different times to this game store about 3 hours away, and then I was working about 5 hours from there. So I went down and I found out they were giving away Jirachi on each game that you could do, and then I would try to restart the games and whatnot and get as many as I could, but I don't think I was able to do more than like 3. So I was working, and I came back and I had to drive 5 hours just to get that other Jirachi, and I wasn't really too excited about going back, driving another 5 hours back. It was either drive 5 hours back and then drive 8 hours back home, whatever. I felt like it, so I just kind of drove my 3 hours home, and that was one of the last things I really did out of state. But it's been pretty crazy since then, to say the least. Crazy busy. A lot of stuff. Obviously, the content's been coming up. You see how much content I've been putting up. It's a very small amount of what I want to do. It's literally endless. So I've been trying to do a lot of things for a decade or so now. I could really use help with a lot of it. I'm trying to get Silent Castle to do a little bit of something, and he's doing what he can, I guess. But it's a lot harder now when his work hours changed and whatnot. I used to be able to go out and see him at late at night, and now he gets off work like 3 hours earlier. And he goes home. So, and I'm pretty much busy the times that he's working. So, once in a while, I'll get to talk to him right as he gets off work and right as like him shutting down at work. So, yep. I've got some old videos of Silent Castle and I. I don't want to erase them and whatnot. I know if I look through all the Pokemon games, there's probably so many battles of us with people from high school and so forth. I remember I had some times where I would just wreck everybody with Darkrai. I remember Silent and I were battling one day, and he used sheer cold on me 3 times. I think he hit like 3 out of 4 times or something, like 3 out of 5 times. I'm like, okay, dude, come on. Like, this is bull. I think it was like back to back to back or something. Okay, sure. I couldn't tell you what the heck he was, using, what I was using against it, but I think he was using Kyogre. I'm like, good luck ever hitting those back to back to back again. That's a 30% chance that it goes down. Theoretically, so you got like 30 out of 100, and then another 30 out of 100, then 30 out of 100. 3 out of 10, 3 out of 10, 3 out of 10. 3 out of 30. 30 out of 300. Or would it be 90? 90 out of 300. It's still low. Like, it's pretty low, and it still goes through and whatnot. I'm like, alright, sure. But sheer cold's an automatic knockout if you're not familiar with Pokemon games. They kind of got rid of a lot of those moves because they're kind of stupidly broken. Did a lot of football, NFL football predicting and so forth. I pretty well knew what was going to happen. Like, by the time the games are, whatever. By the time the first set of games are done, I can pretty well guess what's going to happen. I was paying attention to the AFC North and saw the, let's see, what was it? The Browns lost to the Giants. And then we had the Steelers win. Because as soon as the Browns lost, I said, watch the rest of the AFC North, at least 2 of those teams win. So then the Steelers won, and the Ravens won over the Cowboys, and the Ravens. So the Cowboys beat the Browns week 1. So then you have like the Ravens beat them, but the Browns couldn't. So then you have that storyline going towards, will the Browns end up beating the Ravens this year or whatnot? They're really trying to tighten up the division right now with the script, because you already had the Browns would have went up 2-1. The Bengals were the Bengals are 0-3, I think now. So they'll probably win some AFC North matchups for sure. Ravens, I think, got their first win, maybe. Either their first or second win. I think it might be their first. I think they're 1-2, and the Steelers are 3-0. So I do believe that is what's going on. But I mean, I pretty well guessed a lot of this stuff. Like, I told someone I knew that was really following this stuff too, because I really ain't following it because he's following it. And he was telling me about some of this stuff, and I was kind of following it. I said once the Browns lost, 2 of them would probably win. And then once the Steelers won and the Ravens were already winning, I said, don't be surprised if the Bengals get knocked off, because I would not be surprised in the slightest if the Bengals end up losing, and then they end up losing. And it was just such a script. Like, it's nothing new, really. It doesn't really surprise me at all, because this is the kind of stuff they do all the time. Or you'll have a team will take the lead, and then the whole rest of the game they'll not score or whatever, and then the other team will just come back, and then that's the end of the game. Like, they'll come back so close. Like, I think that's what happened in the Ravens and Cowboys game. I think the Ravens went up like 21-3 when I checked it, and then the final score was like 28-25 Ravens win. And same thing happened pretty much. Well, actually, the Chiefs and Bengals from, that wasn't this week, that was last week. I saw that it was like a 2-point game or 3-point game, and then if that wasn't obvious enough, it was just going to come down to field goals. They missed an extra point or whatnot. I saw them miss the extra point, and I go, yep, this is a field goal game, and the Chiefs are going to take it by 1 point, and they ended up going to the last second, and they took it by 1 point, and it was 26-25. And I'm like, these guys never stop at this script. Like, it's so simple to read through if you pay any attention to the patterns. Like, you don't even have to have a lot of numerology and all that type of stuff. I mean, that helps, obviously. I don't have great understanding of it, but I have enough to figure things out. If it's obvious enough, like, oh, number 3 scored in week 3, or number 3 scored 3 touchdowns. The team went 3-0 on, this certain day. I remember I called when Kentucky basketball was playing this Saint team. It was St. Joseph's or something like that. It was in March Madness, I do believe. And I said, well, it's St. Patrick's Day. That Saint team, I'm going to say they're going to win. And they did. Because it's just that much of a script. Like, they even say in the games now, they're like, you couldn't even script it any better. And they show all the fans that are all upset when their team loses. They put all their time, money, effort, all this, all week, and then just for them to get upset at their team losing. It's pretty messed up. Like, some people are just kind of wild about this stuff. Like, I used to be such a study of sports, and I just think football is really easy to predict. I've predicted a lot of things so far out of it. Then you had the Seahawks against Tua. You can connect the dots on that one. Tua is the quarterback of the Dolphins. Seahawks, Dolphins. I think Seahawks won, making them 3-0. So, you definitely get an agenda there. I don't know that I've heard anybody else come up with that. They won't play each other unless they play in the Super Bowl, which I really don't think they're going to. So. The Birds and the Dolphins. Then there was a whole ritual script with slaughter dolphins or slaughter some kind of animal or something. People will die on it, just like the guy in the Washington team. I believe he went to Ohio State. Was that Dwayne Haskins or something like that? I believe died in connection to a trash